Welcome to Understanding Behavior, Meaningful Activities. Unmet needs are one possible reason why certain behaviors may occur. Human beings have a fundamental need to engage in activity that is purposeful and has a sense of meaning. What we consider to be meaningful varies from person to person based on our own interests, experiences, and environment. This need may change as we age, but it doesn't disappear. Engaging people in activities that are meaningful to them is one way we can prevent some feelings or behaviors from occurring or from escalating if a behavior has already begun. Remember to be flexible in the types of activities you do and how you present them. Recognize that adaptations will likely need to be made as abilities change. It may seem that the person is content to watch TV or sleep all day. They may appear apathetic, uninterested, or unmotivated to participate in anything. Changes in the frontal lobe make it hard to plan and initiate activities, to get up and do. Apathy can also happen when the person doesn't understand what's happening around them. You can respond to apathy by trying to engage the person in activities that they enjoy and are appropriate for their current level of abilities. Supporting a person with dementia to engage in a variety of activities that they find meaningful can enhance quality of life. You don't need to change up the activities they do every day. Look for some variety in the types of activities they do. Meaningful activities allow us to continue some of the roles that make us who we are. For example, a mother, a nurse, a baker, an artist, etc. Think about the person in the context of their life history. What was their occupation? What was their passion? Was there something they would habitually do every day? Answering these questions helps us identify what activities the person may find meaningful. For example, a person who used to work as a server may find meaning in helping to wipe up the dining room table after dinner. Someone who used to make furniture may enjoy sanding a piece of wood. Some activities can trigger memories stored in our memory, for example, our long-term memory, depending on the senses that they connect with, such as the smell of fresh baked cookies may remind someone of baking for their children. Because emotions affect how memories are stored, activating old memories can also activate the pleasant emotions that were felt when the experience first occurred. Some of the benefits of engaging the person living with dementia in meaningful activities are: activities make us feel useful and help combat boredom. They offer physiological benefits, for example, expending excess energy, calming someone down, which can have positive effects on a person's sleep and reducing agitation. When activities are meaningful to the person, they help improve mood, reduce negative feelings, and boost self-esteem. People living with dementia often feel overwhelmed with their environment due to a reduced capacity to process information. Anxiety-reducing activities help to reduce or distract the person from reactive behaviors or feelings of anxiety and restlessness. Repetitive activities such as brisk walks, cleaning the counter, or sorting objects are particularly effective at reducing anxiety, especially in the later stages of dementia. There are many ways of thinking about activities. Meaningful activities are not just about leisure activities. You don't have to be a recreation therapist to engage the person you're supporting in an activity that's meaningful to them. Activities that are productive and necessary for self-care can also be meaningful. Here are some suggestions when presenting activities. Give a reason for the activity or task. People are generally more inclined to do something if they know why they're doing it. Framing the activity as something that would be helpful to you may increase the likelihood that the person will want to engage in the activity. For example, I'm having trouble matching these socks. Can you sort them for me? It would be a big help. It doesn't matter if they're sorted correctly. Offer choices but keep it limited so as not to overwhelm the person. For example, do you want to peel the potatoes or stir the sauce? Support, don't do. Help the person to get started on the activity if they're having trouble initiating. Demonstrate and provide simple direction and cues for the person when necessary, but try to refrain from jumping in and doing it for them. Break down the task into one simple step at a time. Participating with the person and talking to them during the activity can make it more enjoyable and help them if they're stuck on a step. It can be reassuring to the person to be able to look at how you're completing the activity if they've forgotten how. Even if they don't communicate back in the same way, they can still benefit from hearing the sound of your voice and being part of the conversation. Offer lots of encouragement and praise. Give frequent encouragement. Validate the person's success, even if it seems like they're doing it wrong, and praise them for doing a great job. Thank them for helping you. Successful activities focus on the process, not the end result. Focus on the remaining skills and knowledge, what they can do instead of what they can't do. Consider activities that your person has always enjoyed doing or has brought comfort to them in the past. For example, crosswords, baking muffins. Be mindful of physical and cognitive limitations, but don't underestimate what the person can do. You might be surprised. Be mindful of time and location. Consider the time of day when you present an activity. Is it when the person has the most energy, often in the morning, or when they're tired and wanting to rest, such as mid-afternoon or evening? Has the activity gone on too long? Did it end when they wanted to continue? Follow their lead and observe body language and facial expressions as signs of when to wrap up an activity. Plan relaxing activities at a time when the person is feeling tired and more stimulating activities when they have the most energy. Remember to build rest into the day. We all need to rest and have opportunities to recharge. Balance the type of activities in the day. If they just completed something that's productive, consider moving into a more restful activity. For example, having a bath, a nap, or sitting quietly together and sharing a moment. Try to maintain a regular routine. Completing regular activities at the same time each day helps the person to know what to expect, and it increases the chance for success. For example, getting dressed at the same time in the morning and having meals at the same time throughout the day. Recognize that each person is different. You may find that the person you're supporting responds well to spontaneous activities. Be flexible. Preferences may change and abilities will change. Someone who has cleaned their house every week their whole life may not want to clean anymore, especially if he or she never liked it to begin with. Keep a journal. Record what activities you tried, when you tried them, and what the person's response was. Were there factors that increased or decreased the success of the activity? Remember that activities don't have to be cumbersome. Listening to music is an example of a simple activity that can have both relaxing and rejuvenating effects for the person, depending on the type of music selected. If the person consistently appears uninterested or unmotivated in all activities, and this is accompanied by a persistent sadness, hopelessness, or low self-esteem, make sure to talk to their doctor about the possibility of depression. And for more information on this topic, see the webinar Activities to Do with a Person Living with Dementia. Remember that communication is more than verbal. Our facial expressions, our touch, and our attitudes towards a behavior will impact how we respond to what's happening. Behavior is communication and an opportunity to connect with the person living with dementia. Your intentions are what's important. You don't have to be a perfect caregiver. If you have questions about information you've heard here or any other questions about living with dementia, please don't hesitate to call our First Link Dementia Helpline Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.